Okay, I'm looking at the Lotto um, program that you'll find in the in the directories. And this was my first attempt to try to create a Windows application in Visual Studio 2017, and needless to say, I didn't get very far because this is a pure API or MFC slash API based window application, so there's no form designer or anything. Um, Taking the definition of some of these things here. If you run it, you get this big honking huge window here, um, which actually has an about deal in it, and an exit function. But this is one of the simpler programs that Wizard will create. It's about as simple as it gets. So, and Chili does a really good in his old intermediate tutorial series. He does a good overview not only of his framework but how Windows works a little bit, and that's still kind of applicable, even though DirectX 9 is no longer used as far as the framework is concerned. But the Windows part of it is still quite recent. Even though DirectX part's worth a listen too, because it does explain still the basics. Even though DirectX 11 doesn't work like that anymore, apparently. But I forgot what a lot of this shit does. An app title, load string, H instance. Okay, it's registering the class here. My register class, H instance. Okay, well, it's initialize global strings. Perform application initialization. So, and like I said, that's in this, whatever this is. I don't know if this is just a function or a class or whatever. It's supposed to return something though. It's got an integer out there, and then this thing, which I was peeking into the definition of, it's Win API, which is further defined as a standard call, apparently, which is which won't let you peek that far. So that must be secret. Windows secrets right there I stumbled across. Okay, but perform application initialization. Again, some of this stuff is vaguely familiar from from his tutor, but again, this is still MFC, and even Chili, recommends that if you want to do Windows programs, man, use C# or something like that. Don't do it in a C++. Definitely not in this MFC API shit. So it's just unnecessarily difficult. Even he could barely remember how all that shit worked. Okay, H instance main, and here's the main message loop. This is kind of important. You'll see that in Chili's framework. Repeat through these messages over and over and over again. Might be interesting to compare this to Chili's framework. Come on, Chili. If I can find it. Keepers. Here we go. I'm gonna have to freaking run it again. I don't know why I always have to click this to get it to load. It's on GitHub, or it was a repo from GitHub. Let's see. Yeah, where is the damn? Let's say about main CPP. This is the main program, and this is sort of equivalent. His is a little better laid out code though. But I got some notes in here. So H instance is a window handle, and here's some of his Chili exceptions. Although I'm still not clear if this is for runtime code, these try-catch blocks, or if it's just for when you're in debug mode, you know. So I don't know. I mean, I'm still not clear about that, because you know you need runtime code that catches errors too. So, but ignore all the chili exception stuff. But you know, that's all that's pretty much in his you know, in his main file there. I don't think there's a header associated with it. Yeah, there isn't. But he does have a main window application and I think a main window header. Yeah. Okay, so you know, here's his header. And this stuff works a little different than he had in his, you know, in his file. Actually, quite a bit different, you know, but still essentially the same. But he made a lot of changes since that 2012 video he did. He hadn't gotten to that in his new series yet. But let's see where the shit's the. Damn it. Okay. Here in the main window, this is maybe more equivalent to that other thing. I don't know, because this registers the class. So, because you got to register, you know, your window class, you know, and establish certain parameters with Windows. You know, but it hasn't instantiated an object of Windows yet, of that class. Create Windows and get hwind. So this actually creates the window instance. Okay, and then this is the show window and update window. So, you know, windows are hidden by default when they're created. So, you know, if it's actually created here, it's instantiated here, and then shown here. Active window, show message box. So you still, you know, use this as to show a message box, even in a console application. I think that'll work if you got the necessary includes. Which he's all got those buried somewhere else. Process message, okay. So this is the main, you know, message loop. This is equivalent to what you see in that other program. Well, this isn't the main message loop, but this is part of it. This main message loop is somewhere else. Let's see. Right here is his main message processing loop. This is where he goes in and figures out, you know, this isn't the loop, this is just what he calls to process the loop, because that is his main message loop up here. You know, he calls the translate message and the dispatch message, you know, this is handle message right here. So, where the shit's that at? I don't know. Huh. Windows message codes, and you know, these are what he does to handle the various mouse buttons and all that crap. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that just for shits and giggles. But anyway, that's kind of sort of what's going on here a little bit, you know, with that message loop. So again, translate message, dispatch message. So you got something about, you know, setting all the system variables. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, and this is just like, you know, his other function, you know. This is this callback, but anyway, he's processing certain messages here. Message handler for about box. So I'm saying it's hard to get just a simple goddamn Windows program, you know what I mean? Because, you know, here we're still dealing with menus and all this shit. But, so, you know, this is lotto.cpp and the lotto.h file. You know, there's nothing in it. So, so this is still it. It's like one of the shorter Windows creation programs I've seen in MFC. You know, it's about as bare bones as they let you create. Oddly enough, I mean, you know, it's like gotta have a menu and, you know, and gotta have an about box and, you know, I don't even know where the hell you fucking size the window at. I mean, I'm sure it's buried in here somewhere. That's what I was kind of looking for. Because that window is so honking huge. Cursor, background, menu name, style. You know, there are a lot of codes you can put in here for style. If you look out on the internet, and Chili kind of goes into that a little bit. You know, some of these bit flags and stuff. He actually dissects some of these things, so it's pretty informative, even though it's like a, I don't know, hour and a half long video. Yeah, I think it was like, you know, in his intermediate series, I think it was like episode 9 or something, he started on that, but it might have been like 5, I mean, I can't remember. That was a couple weeks ago. Null pointer. Yeah, it's all pretty cryptic, but, you know, it's less cryptic now, though, than it was like 2 or 3 months ago, so when I was starting to write my first C++ program, but or even back when I was trying to write this Lotto program, you know, over a month ago. So it was, you know, it's less cryptic now. I mean, one of these days it may be even less cryptic still, but you know, the stuff looks ambiguous, but it is readable. I mean, I still don't know where the fuck the goddamn size is. I'm pretty sure the size is declared right in here. If you know, can make out what this is saying. Again, in this monitor, it's kind of hard to, you know, it's kind of hard to read things, but yeah, but it looks like the, you know, width and the height are here, which would put them like, I don't know, here or something. But that doesn't make any sense, so I don't know. So I think this is where the window height is established, but holy shit, you know, good luck deciphering what this is. I mean, I don't know. That's certainly not in the same order they depict in this thing here. So I have no fucking idea. looks like the only order you can have too. Overlapped window by the CW user default, and these zeros are what's really puzzling. I don't know what that means, but I think they have something to do with where it's placed. But see what happens. Oh, computer crashes. I don't know if that did anything any different or not. So, see what happens. Oh, no, it did something. Okay, well, we're cooking with some kind of gas. It's doing something. We got like a fucking menu here with no background. When in doubt, enter a bunch of random numbers into it. That always works. Okay, yeah, it's getting somewhere. I don't know what those zeros were there for, but anyway, that's way better than what we had there. So I guess if you want to remember what those values were, just go back, because I know some of these are probably startup positions, but I don't know. The first two I thought were startup positions, but who knows? Anyway, but that's enough. That's one of the simplest, MFC applications I've seen. So anyway.